The film generated nearly $80 million on a production budget of under $3 million, an astonishing financial achievement that even surpassed several major studio blockbusters released in the same year. Although the studio itself lacked confidence in the project, audiences embraced it wholeheartedly, turning what began as a quirky black-and-white comedy into a lasting cultural landmark. One of the most fascinating reactions came when viewers genuinely believed it was an authentic sequel. Some movies recreate the past so convincingly that they blur reality, and this film did exactly that. When it reached theaters, older audiences began asking whether it was a re-release or a long-lost sequel to the original Frankenstein films from the 1930s. Its visual identity played a major role in this confusion. The black-and-white cinematography, vintage lighting methods, classic camera framing, traditional pacing, and period-accurate set design made it feel eerily real. Some people swore they had already seen parts of it before, while others insisted it must have been filmed decades earlier and only recently rediscovered. In truth, it was completely new, simply designed to look timeless. The filmmakers never corrected the misunderstanding and instead took it as a compliment, because their goal was never just parody. It was to fully exist inside the world of classic horror itself. Despite being a comedy filled with visual humor, innuendo, and absurd moments, the film achieved rare recognition from the Academy Awards. It earned 2 Oscar nominations, Best Adapted Screenplay and Best Sound, which alone was a major victory. In a year dominated by dramatic epics and disaster films, it stood alongside productions like The Towering Inferno, which ultimately won both awards. Still, the nominations proved that even the most unconventional comedies could be respected by Hollywood's highest institutions. Rather than showing disappointment, the creators celebrated the recognition, understanding that simply being acknowledged was a statement in itself. This was a monster parody with tap dancing and lightning bolts, yet it still earned a seat at the table. It demonstrated that bold ideas, even strange ones, deserved space in the spotlight, and it reminded future filmmakers that taking risks could lead all the way to the Oscars. Its legacy deepened even further in 2003 when it was added to the National Film Registry by the Library of Congress, an honor reserved for films considered culturally, historically, or artistically significant. It joined an elite group that includes legendary dramas, groundbreaking documentaries, and major cinematic landmarks. What made its inclusion unique was that it didn't follow safe formulas. It was silly, stylized, exaggerated, and unapologetically absurd, and that was precisely what made it special. The recognition wasn't just about preserving film reels, it was about preserving influence. The registry acknowledged that laughter, when crafted with originality and skill, holds the same value as high drama and epic storytelling. For a movie full of pratfalls and punchlines, becoming part of national heritage wasn't just symbolic, it was validation. It proved that comedy, when done well, isn't disposable. It's timeless. When production ended, the cast and crew didn't simply part ways quietly. Instead, they held a mock funeral for the film itself. Dressed in full costume and holding candles, they gathered for a playful yet emotional ceremony to bury the project that had consumed months of their lives. It was both absurd and heartfelt. The characters they played, the chaos they survived, and the laughter they shared all merged into one final farewell. Some actors delivered eulogies, speaking half in character and half as themselves, reflecting on the madness and joy of the production. The moment perfectly captured the spirit of the film, surreal, irreverent, and deeply sincere. For everyone involved, it wasn't just the end of a shoot, it was the closing of a once-in-a-lifetime chapter. The farewell embodied the movie's unique blend of humor and heart, showing that sometimes the best goodbyes come with laughter and a little chaos. The script itself came together at lightning speed. Reportedly written in just a few weeks, it began after a mid-flight conversation inspired the lead actor to start writing scenes on a plane. Before long, he and the director had a nearly complete screenplay. The speed of its creation shocked even experienced studio executives. While most scripts go through endless revisions, this one formed quickly and cleanly. The result was a sharp, focused screenplay filled with clever dialogue and perfectly timed humor. Despite the rapid process, it required very few changes during filming, a rare achievement in comedy filmmaking. This fast creation helped preserve the film's freshness and spontaneity, proving that sometimes brilliance doesn't require endless polishing, just the right spark. Even the characters carried hidden layers of meaning. Inspector Kemp, with his wooden arm and exaggerated accent, wasn't a random invention. The actor based the performance on a nearly forgotten German horror star from the 1930s. His portrayal became both parody and tribute, blending comedy with genuine respect for classic horror traditions. The wooden arm wasn't just a gag, it was a defining trait drawn from that earlier era, giving the character an iconic presence. Many viewers never realized the historical depth behind the humor. The role quietly bridges satire and reverence, hiding cinematic history inside comedy. The production also took an unusual approach to sound design. Instead of adding everything in post-production, several sound effects, thunder, animal noises, and creaking doors, were performed live on set. This forced the cast to react in real time, often catching them genuinely off guard. The spontaneity created authentic reactions and unscripted laughter. One famous moment involved a thunderclap that startled actors during a quiet scene, producing a natural burst of laughter that stayed in the film. These real-time effects created an energy that couldn't be recreated later, turning the set into a space of surprise and genuine emotion. The result was a film that felt alive, unpredictable, and spontaneous despite careful planning. Originally, the film was meant to end in tragedy. The first version of the script concluded with the doctor sacrificing himself during the experiment to save the monster, a dark, somber ending that shocked early test audiences. They hated it. The tone felt too heavy and completely mismatched with the rest of the comedy. Viewers left screenings confused, disappointed, and emotionally unsettled. Many felt the ending betrayed the film's playful spirit. The filmmakers listened to the feedback and made a bold change, rewriting the finale to include a comedic brain transfer gag, a romantic resolution, and a much lighter conclusion. The new ending saved the film's emotional balance and left audiences laughing instead of mourning. It stands as a powerful example of how audience feedback can transform a film's legacy, proving that sometimes one scene can define whether a movie becomes a classic or a failure. Even after filming ended, the director carried the film's spirit into real life. He took home the massive monster boots worn during production and began wearing them to Hollywood parties, instantly turning them into his personal trademark. The oversized boots became part statement, part joke, and part tribute to the film's absurdity. Clomping through rooms in exaggerated steps, he made people laugh and reminded everyone that the film's spirit lived beyond the screen. It wasn't just playful, it was a quiet rebellion against Hollywood norms, reflecting his fearless humor and confidence. The boots also became a conversation starter, allowing him to share stories from the film's chaotic and hilarious production. It perfectly captured his approach to comedy, bold, playful, and never self-serious. In the end, Young Frankenstein stands as far more than a comedy. It is a timeless celebration of creativity, chaos, and heart. From the battle to keep it in black and white to the behind-the-scenes stories of melting makeup and monster boots, its strange secrets make it unforgettable. These stories explain why it continues to charm audiences decades later. Whether someone is a lifelong fan or discovering it for the first time, the film proves that bold choices and unconventional humor can create something truly lasting. What was your favorite strange fact or moment from today's video? Share your thoughts and memories in the comments below. We love hearing from you. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like and subscribe for more hidden stories and fascinating secrets from Hollywood's greatest classics. Stay tuned. Many more hidden gems are on the way.